Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I wasn't going to make a video, but we got this new Trunks and he has one of the most broken ability in TOP. I am not doing anymore the kit review and analysis because TOP is changing. This character is so valuable. I wanted to talk about him a little bit, and I will take this occasion to talk about all the GT character we got, plus the new Red Ribbon Army campaign characters. You're gonna have timestamp, you're gonna talk about the strengths at the end. Now let's get to the GT one first. We start with Kid Goku, a very interesting and useful character. He will fit multiple GT teams because he has equal stat, he has a similar strike and blast, so you do not need to worry and he will be fine. Plus he has a double defense ability, so it's pretty good to have him in any GT team. And he has also a pretty good team. High defenses, high HP, he's a Zenkai. His key restore is 2362 at friendship 1. It should be around 2480 at friendship 10. And you're gonna get 15% key start of battle, so you will be above 2.8k, which is super fast and super nice. He has 100% damage inflicted, very good. 20% damage cut, very nice too. He gets more damage every turn, he gets more key recovery, and most importantly he gets some gauge, so he's gonna get at least 20% gauge of fight, and you're gonna get gauge for just surviving in a fight and doing some attack, so another 20%. Every fight you can expect around 40 to 50% gauge from him, which is nice, so he will super every other fight no problem. Other than that, he has a very interesting mechanic with the stun. So turn 2 he will stop one of your enemy from attacking. It's similar to a lot of Frieza character. You have the LLG run, the Kotopo does it, but they do it turn 1, this guy does it turn 2. Still useful. For example, you are doing the Ultra Fusion fight and luckily he stuns Ultra Super Vegeta that you're gonna take last. He will have one less attack, which is pretty nice. Sometimes you get unlucky and he stuns someone you're gonna eliminate, but that's how it goes. It's still a good mechanic to have. Other than that, with his 25% damage cut, he can heal himself when he gets attacked, and he gets extra special move, and he has another ability when he gets below 60% HP. I don't think he will see it too much because he's pretty tanky. Finally, he has a strike cover change, so if your allies get low HP, he's gonna cover change them. He's also Zenkai buffing Blue GT, and it's important because GT's healer is Super Baby 2, and this guy is gonna Zenkai buff him, Super Baby 2 Zenkai buff him, so he's gonna be pretty good. If you have him Zenkai, I would advise him in your GT team. He's a really nice character to have. Next is the Golden Shenron. He is more strike based, unlike the Goku. He needs to be in strike teams, but in some season he's gonna be S tier, and if you want to use him in your blast team, it's fine. He still give himself a lot of the abilities for strike, and he's Zenkai buff himself, so he's gonna still do some good damage, but mostly use him in blast team unless he's S tier, because he's gonna still be very useful. I even recommended him this season in the teams video, and there is a JT section. I tell you to use him even if he's strike based on a blast team because of the boost. Other than that, he has an okay stat for a Zenkai. He isn't the fastest character ever, but he's still pretty quick. This is friendship 1. When you get him to friendship 5, he should be around 2530 key, something like that, so it's still decent. He doesn't get any key, this is like this, he doesn't get any key start of battle, just 30. It's not really crazy, and the 30 key is a flat addition, not a percentage, so be careful, it's not 30%. And he has one good ability, which is the bubble shield. So when an attack from an enemy happens, he will nullify the first attack and he will take less damage. He has 20% damage cut, some okay strike damage, around 80%, and turn 2 he will get some special move gauge, so it will help him to super more frequently. End of battle he will get some healing to himself. I don't think he needs it with the bubble shield, the Zenkai buff and everything. He will not drop too much in HP, plus he's gonna get some key recovery. It's not that important because end of battle almost everyone is dead, but it can be useful. He will get faster by the end. So if you have him Zenkite, I would really advise you to use him in your Strike GT team. And if he's S tier 1 season, you can use him even in your Blast GT team because he's gonna be some good boost for you and he will give you extra point. He's not gonna handicap you that much. Talking about Strike GT, we're gonna have this rildo. Now, this character is gonna be super useful in the future when TOP is gonna change. Same for the Golden Shenron, because they're gonna work very well together, and Strike GT without kits is better, but in the current format, the Blast one is much better. So I think he's a good investment for the future. I hope you 14 starred him. But let's look at his current kit and how it does. Overall, he's just a free-to-play unit, so his stats are not the craziest, so his defense pretty low, his strike is okay, and his HP is fine. Key recovery 2400, but he will get 20% here for 2 turns, so he will be around 2.9k at friendship 10 for turn 1 and 2, and it's the most important. Other than that, he will gain special gauge 2, which is nice. He gets it from turn 3, but it's fine, as long as you get it, you can carry it for the next fight. He will also heal himself 5%, that's super nice because he's not the tankiest with 15% damage cut, so we're gonna need that healing. Other than that, he can crit, he has okay damage, and he will be an okay character if you want to use him. Pretty nice on Strike GT team, but I think he's a good investment for the future when they will remove kits. He has a really OP Z ability and works with Ultra Omega, the Zenkai Shenron that we just saw, the Zenkai Omega, and so on. So I really like this character, and hopefully you farmed him. Let's get to the last one for GT, and it's gonna be Ultra Vegeta. I think he's the best one of the bunch. He's pretty one-dimensional, but what he does is really nice. I would recommend to use him if he is A star because of the Clash equip and the stats. If he's 5 star, I wouldn't recommend him too much. In face value, he has low key recovery, but he gets so much from the Ultra ability. He gets 5% per GT allies, so that goes up to 30%. I would really advise you to use him on GT teams because of that. If he is used in Vegeta clan team and Saiyan, he won't get that much key, but he still gets some 30% here. However, if you couple that plus this one, you're gonna get 60%, and he's gonna be one of the fastest unit in the board. I don't think most enemy can outpace him, which is really nice. Other than that, he's gonna give allies 5% special move gauge, so they will build gauge faster, which is really good. He gets extra damage from his Ultra ability. He will do a lot of damage himself. He gets like 100% start of battle plus 20% blast damage. Blast damage is really nice because you want your unit to be blast based, and most likely you won't change it. Unlike strike based character, you need to change back and forth, which is annoying. Now he has only 15% damage cut, but I don't think this is a big problem because he can heal himself 3 times, 2% when he gets hit, so that 50% is gonna be okay. He gets gauge like every other character, and he gets it when you get hit. And also, other than that, he has a really good cover change because it's below 50%, not 30%, so you can save unit much faster than usual. I don't think he will super that often because he gets the gauge when he gets attacked, so you can get unlucky and he doesn't get attacked, but still he gets it from the Ultra ability, the 5%, and he will do really good damage without the super because 120% blast damage is going to be super OP. I would really advise you to use him on your Blast GT teams if he is max star, not max star, A star, sorry, and he will work really well with the free-to-play Shenron, the red one. Both are a fast red unit, and the red Shenron will debuff, so they will be really good partners together. If you want to use him in Vegeta clan or Saiyan teams, you can. For Vegeta clan, I would advise to go just full Saiyans because, well, full Vegetas, because he has a Saiyan Z ability. The Trunks will struggle a little bit, and I would advise to have at least 1 or 2 GT character with him, so he gets some extra Ultra ability. For Saiyan, same thing. Try to have some GT character with him, and try to go blast based. He isn't really a strike character. Overall, really good one, and he need to be at least A star. Now let's get to the Red Ribbon Army campaign, and we are gonna have the big bad character of this campaign, of course, and it's gonna be Android 13. Overall, pretty nice character. He's gonna be fast without even having any key recovery in his kit, because this is Friendship 1. Friendship 10, he will be way above 2600, I think around 2700, which is still pretty fast. He can be used in Strike or Blast team, no problem. He has a pretty similar stat, and after transforming it's the same, while reviving, not transforming. And he's gonna have a Strike Attack ability, which is not ideal for Android, but for movie maybe it's gonna be helpful. For his kit, he has okay damage. It's not the best because he's a reviving character, so in his first state it's not gonna be the greatest, and he's not gonna be the tankiest. So he want to die, and that's why he's not very tanky. Do not worry if he goes low HP because he has a second life. Other than that, he can heal allies a little bit. Now it's 1% start of turn. It's not the best, so it's not gonna activate only turn 2 and turn 3, because turn 1 it's pretty useless. It gets allies some special move gauge, which is super OP, and some damage. Of course, he has the revive, and when he does that, he will start doing way more damage and be tankier, because he gains some 10% damage received and extra 20% damage inflicted, and he will get to that 100 mark that most new LLs get. Before transforming. He is not the best damage wise, but he has some really good support and little healing, which is good. He will carry the support and healing, do not worry about that, even after transforming. Other than that, he can debuff when he attacks, which is good, and he has all enemy debuffs, which is damage received, so enemy is gonna basically be less tanky. The special move charge rate debuff is pretty useless, because you're gonna eliminate the enemy that can super before they do, and characters that won't super, this won't do too much about them because they won't do it anyway. But the damage received is nice. Other than that, on strike he's gonna debuff 30% key recovery. Start of turn 1, he's not the fastest, but he will outspeed a lot of opponent. It's gonna be helpful, but it's gonna be way more helpful when he faces character start of turn 2, because he gets 60% gauge, and it's gonna be nice to debuff their key, and they won't attack you before you eliminate them. Other than that, he gets extra special move damage versus Goku's. Not the greatest ability, because he doesn't super that often, so you need to time his super, and it's gonna be pretty difficult, I would say. And if he cannot attack on special move, on Goku's only, I don't like it too much. He won't see it that much. He healed himself turn 4, which is okay, and he's a transforming unit with 2 life. You want him to die as soon as possible, and it's gonna happen, I think, more often than you think. If you have him at least 7 star, I would recommend him 7 star. If he's below, I wouldn't recommend him. He can be used on strike or blast team. Android is mostly blast team, so Android need to go blast, and you're gonna use him there. For movie, you can use him on either, and it should be fine. We get to the tag unit. They're my least favorite of the batch, but they're not too bad if you have them high star. I would recommend at least 9 star of them, because they're not the tankiest character, I would say. In terms of stat, they have 2274 key. Friendship 10 should be around 2387, and they get extra 15% key, which make it over 2700, and that's pretty good speed for a character, not too bad overall. They get 60% damage, pretty low in my opinion. 15% damage cut, pretty low too, so they're not gonna be very tanky, but they can debuff some damage received on attack. It's okay, but I don't like it too much because they won't output that much damage, and you need star on them to have some good damage. Other than that, they can heal themselves 1% 2 times. The special move gauge is when they get attacked, not a fan again. And the tag switch is not when they attack or get attack type disadvantage, it's based on turn, so you cannot avoid type advantage enemy attack. That's why tag switch are usually OP, and these characters do not have it, which is a shame. But overall, they will still be really decent. I would advise them only on movie team because they are more strike based. On Android team, not really. You really want to go blast based, and these characters are heavy strike, although they have a good blast attack, I guess. It's just the problem, the Z ability. If you have this character and the Android 13, maybe you do not want to use them both together. One of them on the blast team is okay, both I would prefer 13, and these guys, you discard them. but on strike movie it's gonna be fine in my opinion. Now let's get to the last character. So this guy is probably one of the most interesting releases since the GT campaign. He has one of the most broken abilities. Himself, he's not the tankiest, he won't do a lot of damage, but he has some crazy support that we haven't seen really in game. First of all, let's look at his stat. Pretty low, 180k defenses, or even lower if you put it like that, with the TOP stat, and his art booster. So he's not the strongest defensively, you need to protect him a little bit. But let's look at his kit, and we start 70% damage, that's okay. 15% damage cut, pretty low even for a free-to-play. It's not the greatest with that defensive stat. 20% key, very nice, so he gets faster. And we get to the second ability, which is 30% key recovery for allies. And look at his range, it's super big, so you can give all your allies 30% key, and that means you're gonna outspeed opponents super easily. Sometimes you're gonna face the Ultra Rose and you want to outspeed them and you can't. Put these trunks in the team, put some allies that are fast around him, and you will destroy the Rose before he supers, and it's super OP. Now he gives 10% special move gauge to allies around him. And remember, he can support up to 6 allies if you put them in the right spot, and that means your team is gonna fire super at like a crazy rate, and then 10% is gonna be very impactful. You have the key and the special move gauge, and I have never seen a support like that before. And it's not the end, because he's also a healer. He heals allies 3% end of turn 2, and it's one of the best healing ability you can have, because it's in the middle of the fight, everyone got hit already, most of the enemies are dead, so you're gonna heal your allies and gonna eliminate the remaining enemies. So that healing is amazing. So he's basically the first healer for Future, and we really needed that. So Future became a really viable team with this. Hybrid got a new healer that is OP. Even you can use him in movie without the Z ability, and he will be really nice. One of the best support we have in game. I would really advise to use him. He will outspeed the opponent more often. Just put him in the correct position. That's basically it for today. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any question, let me know in the comment. Have a good one, and goodbye.